how coaches and agency owners could double, even triple sales conversions with predictability and have a lot of fun doing it. In this video, I'm going to show you how a peak performance negotiation program can help you, who I am and what qualifies me to teach, who we work with, and how to get started. But first, let me tell you a quick story. There's usually only a few effective ways and 1,000 ineffective ways to accomplish most things in life, and sales is no different. What do all of these people have in common? So Colonel Sanders, Samuel L. Jackson, Charles Darwin, and Ray Kroc. The famous face of KFC, Colonel Sanders, started selling chicken in the side of the road in Kentucky in his 40s. But it wasn't until he was 65, over 2 decades later, before he struck gold and founded the giant franchise we now know as KFC. Have you worked it out yet? Here's another clue. Charles Darwin was 50 before he published Origin of the Species in 1959. Samuel L. Jackson was recovering from cocaine and heroin before he starred alongside John Travolta in Pulp Fiction in 1994. And Ray Kroc was past his 50th birthday before he eventually bought McDonald's in 1961. Have you worked it out yet? The next slide is the answer. It's pretty obvious, I suppose. They all took decades to achieve success. Okay, but if they had the right strategy, stayed on track, and had ongoing support, would it have taken so long? Time is your most valuable commodity. You can't waste it. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, they achieved great riches in their teens because they had the right strategy and stayed on track. And whether you like these people or not, that's not the point. The point is they both worked on a business and sold their ideas to other people who invested in their vision, which moved the needle forward and helped them achieve success fast. If you ever know Tony Robbins, he's often talking about this. People are always moving away from pain and moving towards pleasure in every aspect of their life. And everyone needs persuasive skills. Don't miss out on recognizing how important a peak performance negotiation skill will help you in many areas of your life. Think about how many sales you could have just got last year but missed out on because you didn't have the right negotiation strategy. Imagine if over the last 12 months you had a peak performance negotiation strategy that doubled your conversion ratios. What was your turnover last year? Was it 60K, 200K, 500K, a million, 10 million? It's a lot of money to lose, which is why paying for education that helps us create wealth directly is an easy investment to quantify because it has a relatable return on investment. See, many coaches and agency owners have grown problems in their businesses. They bleed time because they work in a company and not on a system that works for them. They don't spend enough time improving their sales strategy. Most just focus on fulfillment and delivery and not consistently converting enough leads into sales. And this is what happens to their business. They make money, they lose it, they make it, lose it, and it looks a little bit like this. It's such an easy and common trap to fall into by getting immersed in what we do and hope things will change, but it's actually really dangerous because what we're really doing is preventing ourselves from growing in a real business and keeping ourselves in a job that we own. We end up wasting time doing hard work that we often don't like, draining our energy until we're burnt out. But what we're actually doing is missing out on experiences with our friends and family, which is huge. That's the whole point of life, and then when we get comfortable doing that, we end up prolonging the inevitable, and year after year after year goes past. It's tragic in many cases. So how do we grow a business that works for us and not the other way around? This is me at a remarkable ski slope in Queenstown. One of my fun days out. But what we need a predictable performance negotiation strategy that maximizes every opportunity. Because once we have a reasonable cash flow, we can gain the time and confidence to focus on automating the rest of our business so it can scale fast. So my name is Caroline Douthwaite. I've been in sales for 24 years. I'm a founder of Snowball Assets. I built a successful 6-figure solar power company in Australia. I managed sales teams hitting up to 600,000, but an average 500K a month. And I've trained hundreds of people in peak performance negotiation strategies in direct sales teams. I'm from the UK. I live in Queenstown in New Zealand. I love my family, my friends, dog, snowboarding, and entrepreneurship, travel, adventures, and freedom. I started sales with no experience back in 1997. And back when I was 20, I was living in Mallorca and Magaluf. And this Big Blue Diving Centre was failing. And by networking with travel agents, we managed to save the business to the point where they were actually booking scuba dives a few weeks out. So, it really turned the business around just by talking to people and having a really good negotiation strategy. And then when I flew back to England, I actually set up this company called British Telecom, which is the UK's major telecommunications company. And the reason I did that is because I had the best sales training in the country, and it was all in this big aircraft hangar, and inside it looked a little bit like this. And what I actually did is I actually worked for BT between 2001 2004, and I actually was within the top 5 salespeople out of 1,000 for 3 years in a row. Something that hasn't been beat 17 years later. So I really took like a duck to water when it came to sales. And then 2005, I flew from the UK to Australia, and that's where I became a sales manager, managing 30 staff, doing around 350 to 600k a month, and I was taking home about 350k. And then I moved out of there and I actually started my own company. It was actually my 5th company at the time, a company called Supreme Solar Power. And out of 3,819 Australian solar companies around Australia, we were actually second out of the whole on this website, which was Australia's largest quoting website. And this was my first office. And the company did well. I went from 100 grand up to 785,000 over a period of 6 years, and it was progressively getting better and better. This is my tax return. You can see I made 785,843 back in 2016. And the reason why I did all this was really just to have as much fun as I possibly can. I bought a speedboat, I enjoyed myself on the Gold Coast, and I hung around with the right people. Surround yourself with the right people who really want to push you forward so you can create your dream life. And it relates to both mentors and mentees. Everyone should be doing this for themselves. So then I flew in 2018, I flew from Australia to New Zealand. And I went to Hobbiton, as you can see here. And I actually founded this company called Snowball Asses, which is originally a digital marketing agency between 2018 to 2021. And I've only recently pivoted into sales coaching online, but I have got substantial experience over the last 14, 15 years coaching other people, but it's always been face-to-face in my own businesses. So what a peak performance negotiation strategy program will do is it'll give you an education, it'll help you build confidence, it'll help you keep on track, it'll provide proven strategies so you sound professional, confident throughout the whole pitch. So the 2 main areas, things that we need to accomplish in order to get well in the good life, so we're not wasting time year after year not getting anywhere, is education and staying on track. So how do we maximize information retention? So when we actually, put you into our program, what we do is we include a lecture. You can read what's on the screen. It's an audio visual communication, so we use a lot of video, and we also do demonstrations as well. So what we can see is we can actually hitting every single facet of the passive teaching method, which is going to help you retain as much information as possible. Then we move on to staying on track, which is basically group coaching. So in the group coaching, you can see that you're going to retain a lot more information because we're discussing these things. And then what we're doing is we're actually getting you out to go and actually do practice what we're preaching essentially, which is going to help you remember a lot more. And then if you want to go on later on, we do have a course that actually helps you to teach other people the negotiation strategies if you want to take it that far. So what we do is, that was your education side, and what we also do is help you keep on track with the coaching and accountability. We also provide successful, motivated environment. And we help you build the momentum and confidence that you need. So who do I work with? I work with online agency owners or coaches making at least $5,000 a month. I can take on other people in certain other areas, but obviously we'll have to have a chat about that. We also want to take on people who feel like they've missed out on a few converting deals and want to learn how to close more. People who are serious about increasing sales conversions and revenue and determined to be the best in their industry at what they do. So if you're an agency owner or coach and want to maximize your conversion ratio so you have 0 wasted leads and grow your business to 6 or even 7 figures, you've definitely come to the right place. Now I would like you to pause for a moment and just let this next point really sink in, because it's a big one. And this is really, really important you understand this concept. See, very quickly, what happened is when they were trying to fly for the very first time, everyone was trying to build a plane that flew by adding a larger and larger engine, strapping it to a fundamentally flawed concept. There was no aerofoil here. But what the Wright-brothers did is they focused on the plane itself and the aerodynamics. And once they had a plane that flew, they strapped on a light engine and it just worked. So like I was saying before, there's usually only a few effective ways and 1,000 ineffective ways to accomplish most things in life, and sales is no different. Actually, the right strategy is almost opposite to what most agency and coaches are doing out there at the moment. Most agency owners and coaches are obsessed with getting a few customers and spending most of their time on fulfillment and delivery and forgetting about a sales strategy. Well, this mindset is flawed because they end up never being able to scale their business. They never find the time to build a team, optimize their sales strategy, or build automation. They stay stuck in their small business that stagnates over time. Now, that sounds relevant to you, then this is exactly where you need to be. Then what happens is they get comfortable, never grow, start to think it's impossible, lose motivation, lose confidence, convince themselves it's impossible, go back to what they were doing, or chase a new shiny object. And this is so common. So let's get down to work. All they really needed was getting sales. We need to maintain cash flow momentum, grow fulfillment and delivery at a steady and manageable rate. Okay, so how do we get sales with a peak performance negotiation strategy? Well, peak performance negotiation strategy works. This is how it works. We will show you how to make every appointment count and help you build rapport and ammo. In the course, in the program, I should say, what we do is we'll show you how to maximize your conversion ratio, show you how to pitch, handle objections, and also how to close. But a lot of people, you know, they're doing this anyway. They're getting on the phone, they're pitching people, they're, you know, possibly handling an objection and then possibly closing. But what I find a lot of people doing is they're not doing 1 and 3. You know, if we can give you a bit more information about 1 and 3, and you can take that information away and start making sales, you don't need a pay-for program. But if you are going month after month and you know, you're not getting there, then, you know, paying for a program often is a lot cheaper than the amount of money that you're going to lose by not doing it. So let's learn about rapport and ammo. Okay, building rapport is really about understanding your avatar's pain. You know, you should be asking open questions and getting as many answers as possible. Talk about what they like and make it all about them. Find their emotional drivers. You know, what keeps them up at night? What are they interested in? What motivates them? What are they passionate about? What pains is your avatar suffering? Why are they doing what they're doing? What have they done in the past to solve these problems? We do this by asking open questions because we can get full answers with a minimum amount of questions asked, and it helps to understand the client's pains and desires. So what is an open question? An open question is anything that starts with who, what, when, where, why, or how. No question starting one of these words can be answered with a yes or no. Try it out for yourself. Think of any question you could possibly ask someone and start the sentence with either what, who, what, when, where, why, or how. And what you will see, it can't be answered with yes or no and makes sense. And I mean, there are a few exceptions, but it works 99% of the time. This ensures you're getting the maximum amount of information with a minimum amount of questions asked. We also use closed questions in objection handling in step 2 after the pitch that will help you draw up the true feeling a prospect is having during the pitch. A closed question often starts with can, does, is, could, will, have, do. But that's a little bit later after the pitch. A sales process should never have too many steps. Keep it simple, stupid. Make it simple. The poll should be 60%. Pitching, trial closing, objections, and closing should be 40%. Okay, and here's an example of that. You know, ask good open questions, and it makes it fun. You know, getting to know these people and building a relationship isn't necessarily a drag or sales in itself. It's creating trust. It allows the customer to, you know, understand that, you know, you're really interested in their business and you really want to help them. Trust is the biggest factor to get over, so that's why it's so important. After you've built rapport and won some trust, the information you've gathered will give you the ammunition and agility needed to tailor-make your pitch on the fly, so it resonates and excites the prospect on an emotional level about potential results they will get. People buy, I'm sure you've heard this before, people buy with emotion and justify with logic, and this is no different. It essentially opens up the door for a potential sale. You know, building that rapport, it's really about understanding that emotion. So once you actually understand what the emotional drivers are for that customer, you can then tailor-make your pitch, which will actually fit in with that that emotion, which will create drive and passion. And then obviously when you overcome their objections, that comprehension and that understanding is going to allow you to close and make that sale. When you fully understand each new client, you will find deals a lot easier to close. You will know what to say, you'll sound professional, you'll know how to say it, you'll have a working formula that can be passed to new salespeople, which is really important. You will not need a sales script. You know, sales script versus freestyle. Freestyle is more natural, it's more advanced, and it's more effective. Sales scripts are good at the start, They help you stay on track, good for beginners, but they are less effective because they don't sound as natural. At the end of the day, it's really just to get you on the right mindset to start closing deals. Don't get used to be using scripts that are only really good at the start to get you into the flow. And then once you're on Easy Street, you'll find deals will close themselves or become absolutely effortless. So in the Peak Performance Negotiation Program, we will go a lot deeper into all of these three. But moving from 1 and moving into 3, I'll explain a little bit more about referrals and reviews. So referrals make things easier, makes everything easier because trust is the biggest problem. It's the biggest barrier. It's really going to prevent you from, moving forward. So use referrals to build your brand. Lead generation and sales is where the referrals really come in and where your reviews really can be utilized. It's much easier to build a brand. So once you actually have deals coming across the line, you leverage those reviews and those referrals to then get more people in, and use them in story posts to generate leads that will show you a transformation. Use result-based posts and use educational posts to really resonate with your potential avatar or potential customers. So a good tip is to make your help exclusive and very important. You don't want to work with everyone. Don't take everybody on. This is a big trap a lot of people fall into. You only want to be taking on those people who are going to action what you're telling them and who really have the right mindset in order to accomplish the tasks and help you and them both move in the right direction. Also make your help rare and unique. You've got to have a unique selling point. If you don't have one of them, you've really got to do that before you even start doing anything. You've got to have something that you have in your life, in a personal nature or experience, that you can inject into this business that's really going to differentiate yourself from your competitors and make your help specific and talk to their pain. So if you want a peak performance negotiation strategy in your business to maximize conversion ratio, reduce workload, increase your fees, attract more high-paying clients, I'm now looking for a few more of my dream clients who want to double or triple their closing rate, and who want to work less for more money and freedom. So for a limited time, I would like to work with you in a marketing strategy session, provided you meet the criteria. So how does the process work? So what you do is you fill out the application form by clicking on the button below this video. I fill out a few questions. Successful applicants will get a 50-minute introductory call with myself for only the first month, and then I'll be employing people to do this for me, so we can get a better understanding of your situation and understand how we can help you. And if we feel that we are a good fit, what we'll do is we'll offer you a free 45-minute strategy call. Now, we used to sell these 45-minute strategy calls, so getting a free one is pretty awesome. And a lot of people, when I've given them a 45-minute strategy session, they've then gone away, implemented something from the strategy session, and it's actually helped them close a few deals. So this is a big one. If we feel like we are a good fit and we offer that 45-minute strategy session, then that is gold, and it's free. And at the end of this strategy session, we will provide you with some personal guidance, and I'll give you a full peak performance negotiation offer for your program that will include group coaching and also one-on-one coaching. So unlike most of the programs out there, what they normally do is they give you a program which you can work through, get the information that you need, and then sometimes they have a group coaching, which is questions and answers. Now in that, what you're meant to do is you'll get maybe 10-15 minutes, maybe half an hour to yourself, where you can ask as many questions that you want. But what I find a lot of people doing is they just don't know. They want a certain group that they can go to where they can actually be proactive and reactive. So where the coach is actually asking them questions and really drilling down to what's holding them back, rather than having this reactive group session where you've really got to come up with the answers and ask the right questions. Because I find a lot of people just don't know what questions to ask, but they're still struggling. So what we do with our program is we have the program, which is great. We also have the weekly group coaching, but we also have something called a panic button. And what a panic button is when you actually feel like, something's not working or you're not progressing. What you do is you hit your panic button, and what we do is we jump on a call straight away with you, usually within 24 hours, and we give you one-on-one advice on exactly what you need to do to move you forward. Now, this is gold. Not many courses actually have this out there. So it's really, really powerful, and it's going to help you get where you need to go. I'll personally be doing these calls until the end of the month only. So jump in now, and also if you're in one of the first 10, you will also get that discount. The value you get from a strategy session has been worth thousands of dollars to some previous prospects and has got them sales without actually doing the program. So if that's the case for you guys, awesome. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. I don't need to take on everyone. If that's all you need, then let's do that. But people who do actually come onto the program needs to be a win-win. It's so important that not only do we win, but you guys win as well. I need to make sure we are a good fit we are both a good fit. So it really comes down to me helping others get their return on investment as soon as possible. So when you invest in the program, I'm extremely determined to make sure that you start closing deals and get your return on investment as soon as possible. That's imperative. I just need to make sure that you're committed to do the work. But my goal is, and my promise is, that we'll get you more money in sales than what the course costs within the first 30 to 90 days. So who do I work with? Just a quick reminder: agency owners and coaches making at least $5,000 a month who want to scale up to 6 or 7 figures, who feel like they may have missed out on converting a few leads and want to learn how to close more, who are serious about investing, increasing sales conversions and revenue, and people who are determined to be the best in their industry at what they do. Who I do not work with: people who are just thinking about starting an agency or coaching business, would get a few sales in and then come to us after that. People who blame others for mistakes or make excuses or complain. If that's you, just don't bother contacting me. People who just want information and are not ready to invest in themselves. If this is you, possibly have a 15-minute call if this is the only thing, because we do have payment plans where you can pay over 3 months. We really just want to try and get you some money in. That's our main objective. So we'll jump on a 15-minute call, maybe to help you. But people who are not serious about crushing it or on the online world, or people who blame others for their mistakes, just don't bother with anything. Just do something else. We don't want to hear from you. Okay? So in the 15-minute call, this is where we will start to get to know you, understand your pains so you have in your business, and see if we're a good fit for each other. Application is necessary to make sure I'm the best person to help you and we aren't wasting each other's time. So click on the button below this video to apply for the introductory call, and you'll be asked a few questions. Fill out those few questions, we'll jump on a call and we'll have a little bit of a chat, just 15 minutes, and we'll see if we're a good fit for each other. If you actually qualify for the 45-minute strategy call, then the reason I've done that is because I've seen something in you. I can see that you're really willing to, get somewhere with this and help grow your business and be the best you possibly can in your industry. So what we'll do is we'll start to dig deeper into your struggles and begin to build a plan regarding how we can fix them in the fastest time possible using a strategy with the least amount of resistance. So I want to make this as simple and as straightforward as possible. If we feel we can successfully help substantially increase sales conversions, we will get you set up with an online program and provide you access to a weekly group coaching. In addition, you'll also get free access to one-on-one coaching, which is your panic button when you need it throughout the 12-week program. Okay, so the 45-minute is a free strategy session for those who qualify, and that's with me personally until the end of the month. Either way, provided you qualify for a 45-minute strategy session, you'll have the opportunity to ask me anything you want. And so if you want information about that step 2, where it is the pitch, the objection handling and closing, I'm happy to discuss that and hopefully help you get heaps of value and possibly even a sale or 2. Okay, so warning, I will personally be taking strategy sessions for the next month only. This opportunity will not be around long. I will get applications every day, and I only choose 1 in 5. So 20% of the people get a chance to work with me directly. I'm only looking for people who have the ability to make decisions fast and who know what they want. So go ahead and click below this video. We'll have a quick answer those questions. We'll have a quick 15-minute chat. I'll explain whatever, answer any questions that you want me answered, and we'll have a chat and we'll see where we go. Okay, thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you soon.